When I moved to the Bay Area in 2008, I was pleasantly surprised to find two local radio stations that actually played independent and experimental music, and they somehow never played any commercials. This led me to discover the amazing subculture of college radio, where stations are run by volunteer DJs who can play whatever they feel like. I became hooked and started making a map and playlist of the best college radio stations in the country. While working on the map, I also started keeping a list of my favorite individual shows that I discovered while researching stations. Two of my roommates and good friends joined me in hunting for these shows, and we had soon filled a Google Calendar with our favorites. I built a front end for the calendar to display and to stream the shows that are currently on air. The site went through several layout changes and name changes, and finally I took the time to learn how to build a full-featured app. I studied the Django web framework, and in July 2011, we relaunched as Soundtap.com, now with logins, show and station editing, favoriting, activity feeds, and more. By the end of the year, we had over 500 registered users and over 1,200 shows on the schedule. Then in March, as college basketball teams were trying to qualify for the March Madness tournament, we had an idea. How about a college radio tournament where we put the top 64 non-commercial radio stations in a bracket? Whichever station can accumulate more airplay advances to the next round. I started off by designing a bracket in CSS, and then we seeded the top 64 stations, divided them into 4 regions in bracketly fashion, and generated the HTML. We sent out official email invitations to the stations and had about 1 week to actually build out the scoring functionality. I really wanted to have real-time scoring so that every user would see the same live scoreboard, with station tallies incrementing each second by the number of listeners tuned in. For this reason, I built the core of the app using Node.js and Socket.io, which enable all updates to be pushed instantly to all users. Redis proved to be the ideal database due to its atomic increment operation and its ability to rate limit using expiring keys. The tournament kicked off and the bracket came alive with tallies ticking. Stations rallied their troops and thousands of new listeners showed up. By week 2, we had streamed over 1 million minutes, or 2 years of radio. The tournament was not without bumps. After a few users started screwing up the scores by creating bogus accounts, we had to pause the tournament for 2 days and work out new security measures, including requiring users to log in with Facebook or verify their account by SMS. But expecting the hacking attempts to still continue, I built a tool for us to monitor listening activity so we could see down to the minute when each account was listening to each station. In this screenshot, you can see that these 6 accounts have nearly identical listening patterns across 3 days. The regular gaps you see are a result of another security measure, which requires listeners to respond to a prompt each hour to confirm that they're still listening. In this case, I emailed the accounts, and after no response, their accounts were disabled and scores revoked. We decided to make the dashboard available to everyone so that all listening data would be transparent. This effectively shut down all cheating. One station manager even reported suspicious activity on his own station's tally in order to keep their record clean. In the final round, University of Vermont's WRUV edged out Carnegie Mellon's WRCT 3,645 hours versus 3,622 hours, a difference of less than 1%. The Soundtap Madness tournament was a huge success. In only 3 weeks, our traffic had increased 100-fold, and the number of registered users jumped from 600 to 6,000. Some stations even told us that we had helped them break their all-time listenership records. Soundtap has come a long way in only a year, and we're excited for what the future holds. A mobile app is in development and should be released by the end of summer, and after learning from the success of the Madness tournament, the next version of the website will feature station rankings and a map view, both with real-time tickers to bring more excitement to the site and to take college radio to the next level.